Faithful, we got destroyed on national TV. Thank God this wasn't in prime time, but everybody saw it, so it really don't matter. Hey, we're going to talk about it. We're going to react. We're going to laugh. We're going to cry. We're going to kick. We're going to curse. We're going to have a good time right after this. What's going on, 49er faithful? Thanks for tuning in to the show, man. We are here to overreact live. Man, what a freaking game. Shout out to the Breezie Bunch crew, man. I see you guys in here. You got your takes on. Let's get your takes, man. We got some fun. We're going to talk about the takes. I'm really here for you guys. What I watched was, we all watched the same game. That shit was terrible. I'm just going to keep it a buck. I don't know what the fuck that was. That was a bad defensive game plan, in my opinion. Yep. And the game plan starts with the coach. Now, I thought the players executed piss poorly, for sure, but there were no adjustments made. And I'm not going to sit there and hover over this mother freaking, he ain't had no bodies, he ain't have the, man, fuck all that. Like, real talk. Smash that like button. All right, please do that for me. If you guys want to super chat, I could read your takes on here. Please do so. Help support the channel, and all that other good stuff, man. We got time for that formality stuff because I'm really I'm upset because I just feel like the defense didn't show up. Big Daddy Niners says Niner looked horrible on defense. And JJ, what's up with them? All right, so JJ, I'll start with the back. JJ had the fumble. But he caught a touchdown. So like we gonna really hold it over his head that he caused the fumble. Now look, that about the fumble, yes, we can. Absolutely. Can't fumble the ball. 100%. I don't care who it is. Doesn't matter who you are. If you were Christian McCaffrey, you fumble the ball, you would get the same shit. But he did redeem himself for that. Now, that was a big mistake because that fumble gave them technically 7 points because the Niners defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. So the Niners defense was just like, go ahead and do what you normally do, man. I mean, Matthew Stafford literally picked them apart. You blitzed them, picked it apart. You didn't blitz them, had time to throw the pass. Guys were getting open. The Niners defense is bad. And we knew this, though. But we kept seeing these, like, bright moments, right? Like these moments where, all right, maybe our defense is rising here. All right, so the first game, we probably don't have any defensive injuries. You know what I'm saying? So maybe, just maybe, the defense couldn't do shit. This defense, one sack and it was shared by two people. One sack. Only sack of the game, though, by the way. But one sack, Khalil Davis and Keon White had to have a sack. And it was a coverage sack. So the one time the secondary played well, it was because... And we get the sack, it was because the secondary covered well. Like, you can't make that up. Brandy in the building says, I was so rooting for the second half to turn around in your favor. The juju was there. So, like, the offense finally got into a rhythm, right? They finally got into a rhythm. They were like, okay, they're selling out to take away the run. I'm going to be the first person to say this, though. I don't know why Matt Hennessy wasn't out there. Jake Brendel just and the run, you're trying to run the ball with Jake and you're not going to get what you want. Like, as you're not going to get what you want running the ball with Jake. Jake doesn't mesh well with Christian McCaffrey. I dare I said it. I feel like there was a play McCaffrey got blown up because of Jake Brendel. Now, I didn't see that with Matt Hennessy. I didn't. I saw, and don't get it twisted. The Rams defensive front is pretty good, but you can run on them. They're good, though, but you can run on them. Cousin Sid, it's hard to win in November and December without a D and offensive line. Yeah, because these are the games that are going to be in the trenches, right, cuz? Right? Like, that's... So if you can't win in the trenches, how we going to win? Right? I mean, we're being realistic, though, right? If we can't win in the trenches, how we gonna win? Somebody tell me that. I think he's right. I think he's right. If you can't, because the games in November and December, I mean, this is playoff time, right? Like, this is the time where, this is when football matters, remember? You want to win games? Well, we own one right now. Don't bother me. Hashtag with the BBs. His chin up. Salutations. All right. My chin is up, bro. But at this point, man, like, my chin is up. Don't get it twisted. But this was an embarrassment. An embarrassment. 49ers _ throwback is back, man. Welcome back, man. It's good to see you, man. Appreciate you, dog. He says, hit that like button and subscribe. Yes! That was a money take right there. I like that. Stephanie in the building. Wow, defense was so hard to watch this game. Yeah, I think we were all just like, can we stop? Then we did. We had a couple. We had maybe 1 or 2 3 and they punted the ball one time. So then we had 1 3 and out. I don't know where I'm getting 2 3 and outs from or whatever. They went 4 on 4. We had one time. They punted once. One punt. Sky Moore returned it for 16 yards. One punt. So the defense just. And I get it. They young. And we got beat by an experienced offense. The young defense got put in the shredder. That's what happened. I don't expect that to happen every week. And I expect this young defense that got torched to be better next week. I do. I truly do. Matthew, he was on the watch party with me. He says, ugly game today. We continue to play like this, and it's going to get rough very quickly. It's going to get rough very quickly. Hey, I look, check this out, right? So I was not myself on that watch party. I was mad the whole time. I'm coming down off the madness high. Because I couldn't explain it to y'all what the fuck was going on. Like, it was just bad. Like, yeah, you're right, though. Let's be honest. Show of hands if you think that the defense we saw today is going to be the defense we see next week. See, I don't think so, so I'm not going to raise my hand. But if you feel that way, put your hand up. I'll show you some love. You know what I mean? For sure. I'll show you some love. For sure. But let me know. Peachy's in the building. Says smash that like button for amazing content. Thank you, Peachy. Appreciate that. Terradome in the building. What up, folks? Tough loss. We be back. He right. It's just a game. We be back. Retro Gaming says, I did not even watch the game. I don't know how you missed this one, dog. I guess you wasn't really into it, but I had to watch this game. Can't not watch a 49ers game. Matter of fact, my day, so I had a gig. So I had a music gig, right? This is why I know they care about me. So the owner was like, well, tell you what, just play the 3:30. You could dip out. You know what I'm saying? Gig's supposed to be the 4. I was going to be late for the watch party. But I wasn't because they did your boy Breezie a solid, That's why I love when people love sports. I feel like you get away with some things. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to see any more members up there with some takes. But look, man, this game, I will say this. This was a terrible game plan, defensive game plan. They were like the no adjustment. So I'm going to talk about this all week. So there was a lot of 13 personnel on the football field. For everybody that does not understand what that is, that's, 1 running back, 3 tight ends. Now, Kyron Williams had a day because he finished the day with 2 touchdowns and 70-something yards, right? So he had a day. Puka Nacua held him to the yards, but he got the touchdown. And you know what Puka did in this game? He got key first downs. That's what he did in this game. He had 64 yards, 5 receptions. This is the average game for Puka against the Niners. Never really gets the 100-yard games, but he did have the touchdown. He gave up 77 to Devontae Adams, though. I will say this. But 4 tight ends in this game, 4 of them were torching us. And that right there, they were bringing out 3 tight end sets, and Robert Saleh just could not figure it out. I've never seen him get trumped. Never. I'm sitting there trying to count. All right. Because Lou Gifford, he's trash. Dude can't cover. Maybe around a line of scrimmage, if you line him up as an edge, he can get to the quarterback a little bit quicker. But as far as a coverage linebacker out there, yo, I watched the rookie put this dude through a blender, yo. After having pretty decent coverage on the rookie, then the rookie was like, Matt's like, yo, I'm going to get you the ball again. Matt Stafford was in his bag. 100%. In his bag. He was in his bag. 100%. In his bag. 100%. Matt, it's like, yo, I'm going to just get you the ball again, dog, because Stu can't really cover you. That's a quarterback, man. It's one thing I probably miss about Brock Purdy right now. Speaking of Brock Purdy, Kyle Shanahan said something kind of weird, right? Says when it comes to Brock coming back, they don't want to put him in the same situation they did against Jacksonville. Why am I getting this weird feeling? Weird feeling. Matt, I got to show you this because you says we don't have the personnel. No teams have that personnel, bro. You got to adjust to it. You got to adapt to it. You got to figure out your combination of linebackers and safeties, right? No team is really personnel based to cover 3 tight ends. The thing with the Niners is they're just missing Fred. But if Fred was there, we still wouldn't have the personnel to cover 3 tight ends. You get what I'm saying, dog? Like no team. It's you just gotta find a way to make the play. It's you manning up on the tight end, and you gotta make sure you find a way not to let that tight end be explosive down the football field. But how many times did you see check down throws to tight ends that pissed you off? Never mind the man coverage tight ends down the football field. How many times did you see the T.J. Hawkinson check down, get it to Kobe Parkinson type tight end throw? That pissed me off more than what I saw. And the thing I don't get is, why don't we do that? Like, why doesn't Kittle get more touches? We're the only team that don't check it down to the tight end. We did today once. But it's just what it is. So here's my thing with this 13 personnel. You know what I'm saying? Here's my thing with the 13 personnel, Matt. Now teams are going to come out there and they're going to be like, oh, yeah, we can exploit them. Now, all season long, I told y'all we ain't have safeties that could cover tight ends because every time I do a fantasy football show or I do the game plan with John, I say make sure you start the other team's safeties. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. If Robert Saleh put his best out there against this team and they just didn't play well, then give me Marquise Siegel, give me Nick Martin, give me the guys that I'm expecting to mess up. Does that make sense? Because now I'm okay with a rookie making mistakes. I just am. I don't hold rookies accountable for shit. I just can't. They're not there yet. They're underdeveloped. So if a rookie makes a mistake, that's Gucci for me. That should be Gucci for you. But I'm Gucci with that. But when you put a high-paid, sought-after free agent out there and they make mistakes, it's because they trash. And that, my friends, is on the coordinator. Don't know why Luke Gifford is supposed to be a special teams guy. But when your number is called, bruh, I'm expecting you to step the fuck up. Your number is called. Just imagine you going to work and they need you to go out there and handle your BI and you fail. They're going to look at you like, what? I thought you was... Nah, I'm expecting the guys to step up. The guys that they saw after and paid little free agent money to. You ain't make no trades at the trade deadline because you said you got the guys here. Second-year players, rookies, they get a pass. Third-year players, I don't know, man. How many missed tackles did we have? I think Jair Brown had like 6 missed tackles on one play. One play. Him by himself. Because he was covering. It's a difference when you cover as a safety and then you playing against in the run game. Because he did have a couple of big plays early in the game. Yeah, I'll calm down. I'll calm down for you, dog. I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying, like, you're right. We don't have the personnel, but I don't think anybody in the league will have personnel to cover 3 tight ends that are athletic like that. Maybe 3 regular corny tight ends like ours, where it's just really George Kittle and then a blocking guy, and we don't even use Jake Tonjes anymore. What happened now? He was leading the team with I think Jake Tonjes is still leading the team with touchdowns. He got 4. Him and Christian McCaffrey got 4. They tied for the league leading team. You know, Throwback says we missing Talanoa Hufanga. Didn't want to resign him. I'm going to calm down for Matt, though, because Matt asked me to calm down. So if Matt asked me to calm down, Matt, I'm going to calm down. But this is a reaction show. I got to calm down, dog. Now, this is not a get rid of Salah moment. I don't know, Ben. I don't know where that came from. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that when you game prep, I feel like I need you as the coach to be like, all right, I should be ready for 13 personnel. There's a big difference. The Niners weren't ready for it. That's my issue. That right there. That's my issue. Feel me? It's a big difference being prepared and not being prepared. I don't think the Niners were prepared for 13. They were prepared for 11. They were like, okay, what did John Chapman talk about on my podcast? They come out in what, 11 personnel? Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah. Y'all must have forgot that Puka Nacua was missing for a few games, man. They ain't have that 11 personnel. They got the other receiver, Tutu Atwell, on the motherfreaking IR. And they finally got Tyler Higbee back. They drafted a tight end, and they got Davis Allen, and they got freaking Kobe Parkinson, bro. They got pieces. They figured it out. They had time to work out 13 personnel. I just don't think we were prepared for that. We weren't prepared. That's on Salah though. So y'all could kill me with that. Y'all could kill me with that shit. That's 100% on Salah. And I expect Salah to take full accountability of not being prepared. Yes, I do. Sure do. Because let this have been Kyle Shanahan, y'all be wanting his ass fired. Nobody wants Salah fired for not being prepared, though. I know that. Now, let's flip, because the defense was just ass. They gave up 42 points. They pretty much let the Rams score every time they touched the ball. Not one team attempted a field goal in this game. Right? No field goal. Damn, I got 0 points for Eddie Pinheiro. Matter of fact, I probably got a negative point because he got his extra point blocked. It's crazy. Crazy. All right, let's talk about this offense, because the offense to me started slow. So like, if the offense, I miss when Kyle Shanahan scripted plays used to be a thing, right? We get about 10, 12 plays and you just punch a team in the mouth. It's not that anymore. The offense needs to go out there. They test the waters. They come back. Because here's what pissed me off about the offense on that first series, right? You get a 7-yard pass, right? Something like that, right? All I know is it was a positive play. And then you ran it, and I think it was not a positive play, right? Let me just, you know what? I ain't even going to guess that shit. I'm just going to go back and read it. All right, here we go. So we get the ball, 7 yards. You rush for 1 yard. So literally you get 8 yards. It's 3rd and 2. Now, people say Jawan Jennings dropped that pass. Okay, I don't think it was a drop. I really thought he was interfered with, but I don't really know football like that. But I saw dudes draped all over him while he was trying to make the catch. That's interference, which affected his ability to probably make that catch. I'm going to give the PBU, though, to the Ram player, since they didn't call it. It was not a drop. I know a lot of people were saying he dropped that. That wasn't a drop. That was literally pass interference. But since they didn't call it, it's a PBU. So it's not a drop. But that right there, not converting that first down on 3rd and 2, I knew it was going to be a long day. I knew it was going to be a long day. I just did. I did. I knew it was going to be a long day. I'm definitely going to let it out, dog. I miss doing these to let them out. They've been recorded lately. Yeah. But Paul said stop forcing the ball to JJ. All right, okay, I got to figure this out because first of all, Christian McCaffrey had the most targets. So if anything, they forcing the ball to him. That's number one. Number two, JJ and Kittle had the same amount of targets at 9. If you're going to say stop forcing the ball to him, then stop forcing the ball to Kittle. It's the same shit. He's throwing the ball to players that are getting open in zone. He's throwing the ball to players that are beating man coverage. He's checking the ball down when those players aren't open. It's not a force. It's not a force. If Juwan Jennings had 9 receptions, 9 targets, off the 9 targets for 180 yards, would you have said he was forcing the ball? Come on, let's be better. It's not a force. He was open. He fumbled once. That's on Jennings. That's not on Mac. It's not on Kyle. It's not on the blocking. That was on Jennings. He didn't protect the ball. Key victory number 2. Y'all think I put out keys to victory just because of my health? Fuck no. I really go through the shit and figure out some of the ways that the Niners can win games if they do these 3 little things. There's 3 little things that take you a minute and 30 seconds to watch. Watch them. It'll take you probably 5 minutes to read because reading is a little bit more descriptive and detailed. Read it. Protect the ball. It wasn't just Mac Jones protecting the ball. The players, the runners, the receivers, when they become runners, you got to protect the ball. Everybody's trying to be the next Fred Warner. At that time, Fred Warner was trying to be the next Peanut Tillman. It's a sport. Everybody's coming to punch the ball out. That was on Juwan. And we would be mad about him for that 100%. I don't think Mac was forcing the ball to Juwan. He was getting the ball to the receivers that were open. That's how I look at it. He didn't say he was forcing the ball to Kendrick Bourne when Juwan didn't play in the last game and he had 10 receptions for 142 yards. Bourne was getting open. These guys got the force thing. Little tricky word. Yeah, there was nobody else for him to really look at him. And Bourne only had 1 target. It was 19 yards. But you're seeing his role diminish a little bit because you got to get Juwan Jennings churning. You got to get that energy back on the football field. He's the better receiver. Run blocking, catching, catch radius, you name it. What I would love to see, though, is more Kendrick Bourne and less DeMarcus Robinson if we really going to have this conversation. That's what I would love to see. Ty, what up, baby? This is my dog right here, man. Ty is dope because Ty, he reached out to me. I just checked my, I forgot that I have an app for my website. I almost forgot because I went on my website today. I'm looking to change up some things. I'm actually looking for somebody that does web design or whatever and can run my website. So if you are that person, hit me up. But Ty hit me up on there. But you got in touch with me anyway. But Ty, people just hating on Jennings because he fumbled. For sure. I get it. I'm mad at Jennings for fumbling that ball. That shit changed the whole trajectory of the game. That gave them 7 points. That made them go up 14-0. I'm not hating on him, but he can't fumble that ball. Like, you know what I mean? Like, remember back a couple years ago, Christian McCaffrey was fumbling? Hated it. Can't fumble the ball. You just can't fumble the ball. But at the end of the day, look, I just feel like he had a good game, man. 6 receptions, 71 yards, averaged 11.8 touchdown. God dang it, I realized he got me 18 points -2 because of that fucking fumble, though. Juwan, it's the last time you fumble that fucking ball, bro. You better put that ball, tuck it like you turn to a running back, dog. Hold that joint with 2 hands, tuck it in your titties, and hold it. That's what you do. Tight. Like, he was holding that ball like a loaf of bread. Remember when you played football? Coach be like, I know I used to do this because I was always trying to make a play with the ball. Did anybody see Christian McCaffrey get the ball punched out, or was it just me? Luckily, he got some big ass thighs, and he didn't fumble it, but it got punched out. What a game, yo. Shout out to all the 49er content creators that are live with me right now watching this. I appreciate you, man. Terradome, you being one of them. He said I got more apps than a fast food joint in summer. So Wix has an app called Spaces, and Spaces is so I could communicate those that sign up as members on the website, which is free, right? So but it wasn't downloaded on my phone because it just wasn't downloaded on my phone. So I wasn't getting those alerts because it wasn't downloaded on my phone. Jay, you think Jennings is trash? I think Jennings is having a tough season for sure. I don't know if he's trash, but he's not having the season that we wanted him to have. I think that's what happens when contract shit happens. Just the contracts kill the season, right? You know, that's what I think. I mean, you look at our wide receivers. I mean, Debo struggled after the contract. Brandon Ayuk struggled. Then he got hurt after the contract. Jennings, I don't know what the fuck he did, but he's just not the same, you know. But yeah, and that's my take right here. Like he's okay. He's a 7th round pick. I want people to understand that. Or remember that, not understand it. Just remember that, man. He was picked in the 7th round. He was cut. Put on the practice squad, made his way to the team, you know. But yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? He's not a number 1 though. And that needs to be brought to our attention. He's same thing with Kendrick Bourne. Just not a number 1. These guys are gonna have drops. But I do expect our wide receivers to catch the ball and no fumble the ball. Like I don't care if you a wide receiver. I don't care if you go 1 to 7, round 1, round 7. If you a wide receiver, you catch that rock. Period. End of discussion. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it is. B, what's going on, man? It says Yorks don't want the Niners. You got to explain that to me, dog. You a little bit more into the thing. Is that from you saying just seeing what you see, or you think that the Yorks really don't want the Niners? Because that would be interesting. And because they are looking for investors. I wonder if that's what you mean. They are looking for investors. It is different. Here's some good news, though. There are no new injuries per Kyle Shanahan. You know what, though? This game, and I'm not going to be before you guys long. I feel like I'm a preacher, and I've been doing this. I was going to say 30 minutes, but we're already at 30 minutes. I ain't finished talking yet, and I ain't finished listening to y'all. So here's what I do know, though, right? Like, the Niners' offense is looking better. That was a top defense we played. And I know we only put up 26. We didn't get to the 30 points. But I liked, the way we moved the ball on them once we got in sync, once we got into a rhythm. So I think the offense going up against, these defenses are getting better. I think Kyle Shanahan made some serious adjustments to run the ball. I like the fact that he's starting to use Brian Robinson just a little bit more of a sprinkle of Brian Robinson. And here's my thing, though, right? And this is to Brian Robinson. This isn't to anybody else, but this is to Brian Robinson. If Brian Robinson continues to make positive strides with his opportunities, he's going to see more playing time. Now, someone asked me on the Bleacher Report when I was up there a little bit ago, like, why are we overusing Christian McCaffrey? And I said, well, when you're literally your best player, like, and I'll break it down like this. If you got a team and Michael Jordan is on your team, Michael Jordan is healthy, do you take him out? I mean, of course you sub him out for a player or two, but are you really trying to split his time with somebody else? And if you can answer that, you're going to be like, Wayne Breezie, you stupid. You can't compare Christian McCaffrey to Michael Jordan. I sure can. Yes, I will. I'm talking about best player on the team, right? Would you take him out? So Christian has to be on the field because of what he poses as a threat to the defense. They have to defend him as a passer and a runner. So maybe he doesn't have the same bam explosiveness up the middle. If the blocking is a little bit better, he probably would. Brian Robinson is a downhill runner. He's more of that. It's kind of like Jordan Mason, but with more wiggle, more moves, right? A little bit more speed. That's not Christian McCaffrey. Never been Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey's more bounce, get cut, get to the outside. Well, outside just don't work all the time for the Niners because they know on that that 4th and 1 we did, and he couldn't get the 1 yard because Byron Young made a fucking play. Like, go figure, Byron Young would be the guy that's supposed to be on the other side. Now, Jarrett Verse was supposed to be on that side. They switched the guys up, and Byron Young just made a play. 4th and 1. Imagine if we got that 4th and 1, we would have kept the drive alive opposed to having to punt the ball. There's so many different things. You know what I'm saying? GSU says Jordan wasn't fragile. Christian McCaffrey's not fragile, bro. The dude's been playing football. Where's the fragile in that? He had some injuries last year, but he's been playing hell of a football game. Hell of football this year, in my opinion. You know, running backs in general, the most injured position in the NFL. They take the most wear and tear. But I think what Kyle's been doing with Christian a little bit more is like using him in the pass, in the receiving game. So it's a little bit less wear and tear. You know what I mean? But I get it. Football and basketball are two different sports. That was probably a terrible example. But I couldn't use another running back because I don't see the Colts taking out Jonathan Taylor but for a play or two, and I don't see the Colts fans complaining about that shit. Now, is that better? Just saying, he's our Weapon X. He's the guy that we need on the football field because he poses mismatches. I guess that's how I'll leave it at that. You know what I mean? So look, and I get you that they're way different. I'm just talking about as far as a player and their status. You know what I'm saying? It's just hard. You can't take your best player. Okay, all right. You want me to compare Jordan to a quarterback then? Is that better? Because imagine if you took Mac Jones out and you put in Adrian Martinez because he was taking too many hits. Like, we would have been really shit-faced, right? I just don't believe in taking your best player. If your best player is healthy, I don't believe in taking your best player out. I don't care what the sport is. But I do agree with Chris. The sports are different. I do. But I don't see any Colts fans complaining because imagine if the Colts took out Jonathan Taylor, who had 244 yards and 3 touchdowns today, and the last touchdown was in overtime. Just imagine if they did that. Now, they give Brian Robinson some reps and snaps when Christian McCaffrey needs a breather, and I think that's what most teams do. Like, football back in the day wasn't no split fucking backfield. Like, what are we talking about? It was bell cow, bell cow, bell cow. Now we mad because it's not bell cow. Like, what are we doing here? We be getting mad at everything, huh? Anything make us mad. Anything, right? You know. Ty says B-Rob is good, but defenses aren't playing him. This man knows football, man. You know? This man knows football. Like, that's what it is. Like, they won't plan. He did have a catch in this game. So, like, he had a catch in this game. I'm not going to shit on Brian Robinson Jr., but, you know. Breezy Colts O-line is top 5. They got a good O-line. So then now we talk about the O-line. So then that means no running back is going to be good, right? So I'm just saying Jonathan Taylor's playing great football. Okay, he's behind a great offensive line. So just imagine if Christian McCaffrey was with the Colts, what he would be doing then. If that's what y'all want to do. Like, I don't want to do that, but if that's where you're going with this, I mean, any running back playing for the Colts would probably be great. Imagine Saquon Barkley with the Colts. I mean, look what Saquon Barkley did last year with the Eagles' offensive line. Christian McCaffrey did what he did without a fucking offensive line. So make that shit make sense. Make it make sense to you, and then make it make sense to me. Because I know a couple of years ago when Christian McCaffrey was the talk of the league, there's no offensive line. It's the same fucking offensive line. Like, the offensive line is the same. It won't change. Jake Brendel's the starting center. Cole McKivitz is the starting right tackle. We had Aaron Banks compared to who we got now? Ben Barch. Same offensive line, guys. Just saying. Christian McCaffrey to me is just having a good season. It's just not a good rushing season. It's just a good overall season. Like, you know what I mean? Like, overall, like the season is there. But like I said, if Brian Robinson Jr. can take advantage of his receiving snaps when he's out there on the football field, I think he'll see a lot. I think he'll see some more touches, which is what you want, right? Because it's almost like you don't want to skip a beat when you put the different running back out there. I think that was what made us. We saw Isaac Guerrero have some electrifying plays out there, and we also got to remember pass protection. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, pass pro. Listen, Christian McCaffrey may just be the best blocking running back in the NFL. There was a play he picked up, and I was like, damn, if he didn't pick up that rush, Mac would have been macked. I mean, smacked. Like, wow. I forgot what happened after the play. I felt like we turned the ball over anyway, or something happened. Maybe that was the Juwan Jennings catch. I don't remember off the top of my head. I just remember him picking up the pass protection. And I was like, wow. Yeah, that was the fumble play because I didn't get a chance to talk about the pass protection because I had to talk about the fumble. I think that's what happened. But golly, that was on point. That was on point. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. Like that's why you can't really take him off. Can't really take him off the football field. I think it's kind of hard, right? You know? So Christian McCaffrey literally has been carrying this offense, but it was really good to see some Juwan Jennings minus the fumble. It's really good to get George Kittle in action. He led the team in yards, 9 receptions, 9 for 9 for George Kittle. He had 84 yards and that touchdown. That's why I'm saying, like, the offense. Now, we were playing from behind, so some people be like, they had a lead, big lead, blah, blah, blah. Now, this was like a one-possession game for a minute. Like, every time we made it a one-possession game, our defense, they just kept giving up giving up scores, like not even field goals. Like, just imagine if the defense could have at least held this team to field goals opposed to the touchdowns. 6 touchdowns. It's hard to not talk about the defense. It's hard. But we got our asses whipped and we deserved it. You know, we didn't show up at home. Like, I'm tired of losing at home. Like, why at home don't they really give it all they got? I can't figure that out. Maybe it's too early to play hard at home or something like that. It was rough. It was rough. Today was a weird day of football. It was rough. The Niners, like, moving forward, man, they just gotta stay the course. Those young players, they gotta take accountability and they gotta develop quicker than what they normally want to. I expect Robert Saleh to really, like, start to, like, fine tune some stuff a little bit with his defense. I mean, have you seen what he's seen? I don't know why he won't put Nick Martin out there. I'm going to trust that, but Curtis Robinson ain't it. He gave up a big run, a couple of missed tackles. Luke Gifford isn't it. We already discussed him. D Winters, I don't even know if he healthy, but he out there playing. I give him the Warrior vibe, but other than that, he not good. And then Tatum Bethune, I mean, he's just not a coverage backer. It's gonna be tough. And then you got the safeties. We got the same type of safety, same prototype of safety 3 times. Maybe a little bit more Jason Pinnock in coverage. But other than that, if you get a quarterback back there that knows how to move the safeties, and God forbid, like, at least we play the Cardinals. They don't have 3 tight ends. They got 2 tight ends though. They'll run 12 personnel, but I don't think they got 3 tight ends to where we got to worry about them like that. But we better be ready for it because I really don't think Robert Saleh was ready for 13 personnel. I don't think he was ready for it. That caught him off guard. It was like in boxing, you get haymakered. And then you just woozy for the rest of the time. We couldn't recover. We couldn't recover from 13 personnel. We just couldn't. We couldn't recover from it. But here's the thing, though. I think that they're going to be that much better next week. Like, that's why I'm not, like, super pissed. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like they're going to be better next week. Why? Because they can't play any worse. This had to be the worst we've seen the defense, right? It's the most points they gave up all year, all on the defense. You can blame the turnovers on the offense. They only scored off of one of the turnovers, so you could blame that. Whatever, that's fine. Then that's still 30 something points. But Robert Sala's defense got punched in the mouth. They literally got haymakered, and I don't think I've ever seen that. I'm with you, Chris. I don't know why he was. They have no choice, right? That's the bot. They do have choices. Let me ask y'all this question: do you want to see Nick Martin out there on the football field making mistakes and learning? Put a thumbs up in the chat. I'm at the point where I know the season's not lost. We are 6-4. I know the season's not lost. But I feel like Nick Martin, it's time. You're going to get speed. You're going to get a linebacker that can fly. I don't remember Dre Greenlaw being able to cover shit his rookie season. So I'm kind of with it. You know what I'm saying? Filthy Casual, did Valdez get any snaps? Man, this young fella was inactive. So I'm scratching my head too. So don't be mad. I'm scratching my head because they literally elevated him to inactivate him. Maybe they're gonna say, and I don't know the rules, but maybe they're able to save the elevation since he was inactive. But man, I think they could have used him. So he didn't play. For those that don't remember, Filthy Casual, he wasn't out there. KJ, what's going on, man? I was close to Mac Jones' stats. I predicted 353 passing, 3 TDs. I also said 53 yards rushing. All right, so let's check out Mac Jones' stats. 319. All right. He did have the 3 TDs, so you get the bell for that. All right. Let's see. 53 yards rushing. Where did Mac Jones get the rushing? He only had 3 yards rushing though. Yeah, he couldn't really get open, but he put up some points. Yeah, he was the man. He had the interception in the game, late in the game. 115.7 rating though. That's pretty good. All right, so everybody's saying yes, except for Big Bob Blazer. Big Bob Blazer says no. Yeah, I mean, this is what we're hearing, right? And so hearing it and seeing it is two different things for me, Filthy Casual fan. So at this point, I want to see it. Like, let him fuck up on special teams. I mean, special teams was probably the second, maybe even the best unit out there on the football field, and maybe Coach Brant Boyer doesn't want him out there, and that's why. I don't know, but yeah, I'm with Ty. It can't hurt. Didn't Gifford make a TD saving tackle, or was that someone else? I don't know. I can't remember really saying Gifford's name. So you could be right. You could be right. He's definitely a liability in the run game. But special teams he's got, like, right, that's why he's the lock. So that's why he's the extra linebacker. So if Nick is struggling on special teams, Salah said that Nick Martin needs to prove himself on special teams, he'll put him in. So I don't know how he can prove himself on special teams if he's not playing on special teams. So I don't know how you prove yourself. But there's some injuries that happen to occur. He'll have no choice but to use them. So unfortunately, I guess my thing is, he needs to prove himself on special teams, but you spent the 3rd round pick on him. So let's have that conversation, because that shit don't make no sense. There were plenty of linebackers you could have drafted, or you could have just went with a different position. So you gave up a top 100. You chose this player as a top 100 player. And he's not good enough to play special teams. Or he's got to prove himself to play special teams. I got questions, yo. I got questions that only they can answer. I'll tell you right now, if I was a beat writer in there, that would be my question. So you drafted him with your first 3rd round pick, but then you say he has to prove himself on special teams. And I get it. Like, I get players got to do that. I remember playing football. You had the special teams where you go out there and you gun, you make plays, you do this, whatever. Coach is going to look at you. But I guess I'm saying, like, where does he get the opportunity? Because practice, they don't really even practice. They game planning every single week. So it is whatever. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. I don't disagree with that, dog. 100%, man. But look, it was a bad loss, right? And I can't wait to break this game down tomorrow on the Wayne Breezy show at 1 p.m. So make sure you guys stay locked in here. It was a bad loss, but they can rebound from this. They got the Cardinals, they got the Panthers, they got the Browns, and then they got, is it the Colts? Is those the next four teams? Yeah. So I feel like I feel like the San Francisco 49ers, they got trumped in this game. Like, and I don't mean the guy, I'm talking about like just cards, right? Like they they had a hand that was dealt to them, and the other team had the better hand. I just kind of like what it came down to. And a game that, if anything, pissed me off more about the defense, it was the simple fact that they had zero penalties. And I don't know if you saw me on my oh, it's the Titans. Thank you so much, Matt. So it's the Titans. Yeah. So 40, and then I know we played the Colts at one of these, but the Titans. Why? And I guarantee you that the Cardinals, the Panthers, the Browns, and the Titans will give the Niners every percentage of what they have to beat the Niners. No team wants to come out here and beat the 49ers more than the teams that we play. Like, they just want to beat the Niners. So Nigel's in here, 0 accepted penalties. So first of all, there was only one penalty that we declined. Just one. So I just want to put that out there. That was because I think George Kittle got the first down on the throw. So the play was more than the penalty. So we declined it. And then the other penalty was offset. So it was kind of like it didn't even count. So at the end of the day, they still had 0 penalties. And I definitely feel like there should have been some flags thrown that way. The penalty game is iffy. I think the Niners have 5 that were called against 7. Excuse me. Damn. 7 penalties. So 7 penalties, 45 yards for the Niners. Whew. And it's just like when those penalties happen, like they're just so crucial, right? Oh, I forgot, toward the end of the game, we had the dumb defensive penalties. Yeah, that's right. So definitely didn't get help in that. But I remember posting on Twitter, I was shared some stuff about who the officials were going to be. And then I knew at that moment that with those officials, we were playing against just a bad hand. So we literally had to be on our P's and Q's. And you know what? The Niners didn't do anything to deserve this win. Because the Niners made mistakes. And when you shoot yourself in the foot and you turn the ball over like Jawan Jennings did, you don't deserve to win this game. Now, if your defense could have went out there and helped you out and got you the ball back, you kind of can be forgiven. Now, I do like the fact that Jawan Jennings played through that, got over that, scored a touchdown 100%. But Niners shot themselves in the foot. They did. And then the interception late in the game, kind of like a forced throw because of the pressure. Can't wait to see who gave up that pressure, but that's what it was. Like, right? So Mac was under pressure, and he kind of bobbed and weaved in the pocket and saw his check down, and check down wasn't open. So he didn't see the check down open, but they bracketed Christian McCaffrey very well. And that right there is why Christian McCaffrey be on the field. So that means somebody was open. Mac just couldn't see it. No conspiracies today. No conspiracies. No conspiracies. Nah. None of that. Not today. We literally shot ourselves in the foot and they whipped our ass. Period. That's what I'm saying. You playing against a good team, so you don't want to give them opportunities. How ironic is the first time we played them, we had the turnovers. We won the turnover battle. We only beat them by 3 though. And then the second time we played them, they won the turnover battle, but they beat us by however fucking many points that is. That's a lot of points. 42-26. It's enough. So like that right there is just like, oh man. You know, you lose by what, 16? What is that? That is a lot of points. 16 points. So I like that. That's not good. And the Niners just got to be better, which they will. The good, and like I said, the good news is this: they were able to get their offense going. It was just a slower start than normal. 26 points. The Niners put up 26. So the Niners this year averaged 26 points against the Rams. Where if you do the Rams average, what is it? 23, 42, add those up, divided by 2. Either way, they outscore us. But the Niners, 26 points in both games, right? We won 26-23 last time. We put up 26 again. Missed the 2-point conversion. Missed the extra point. Got blocked. Hey, the extra point that got blocked. Shout out to Nigel, man. He's a moderator on our channel, man. What's going on, Nigel? How funny is this? The extra point that got blocked. You know who? You guys remember who got knocked on their ass on that play? It was Matt Hennessy. It was Matt Hennessy. Like no pun intended. Like the guy we want in that center. Look, he should have been at center. Put Jake Brendel in there on the special teams. You know what I'm saying? Put Jake Brendel in there on special teams. Let me get to some of these comments from the members. Big Daddy Niners, Breezie, how come it looks like we run the same plays every single? Because we literally run a different variation of the same plays every single game. It's a different variation, though. It's a motion here, motion there, everywhere, motion. There's a motion. Oh, make motion, had a fun. It's a little different, but it's just variations of it. But teams telling, they be figuring it out. Like they're smart. Teams know when we're gonna run. They know when we're gonna pass. They know when we're gonna check it down. If I think the offense is being run simple, could it be the quarterback? Could it be the simple fact that Mac is still learning? Would it be different if it was Brock Purdy? Will Brock Purdy play next week? Doesn't sound like it. Not from that quote from earlier from Kyle Shanahan. It just sounds like they are scared to put him back out there. They've invested all this money in there, and they don't want to make that toe worse. It's going to be interesting. Matt, you saying some good stuff, man. Matt, you got to become a member of the channel. You take advantage of the perks. Matt, you saying some really good stuff. I miss Debo. You miss Debo. A lot of the fan base doesn't miss Debo. But finally, if Debo was here, we would see a crazy change in the offense, right? Because now it's the 2 check down guys. And so if you're going to bracket Christian, I'll just get it to Debo. He do the same thing. That's why I don't know why the Niners don't use like Sky Moore. I mean, and he's not Debo, but I feel like he's got that little wiggle way. Just give him the ball in space. Stop having him run these routes down the football field and get Sky Moore the ball. I feel like he can make a person miss. I mean, he does play kick returner and punt returner. Isn't that his job to make people miss if he can? I would love to give Sky Moore the jet sweep. Like, that's the guy you want running the jet sweep. Not George Kittle, not Jawan Jennings. You want Sky Moore. Now, the Niners should be getting freaking Ricky Pearsall back. They should be getting some of these players back. That is great. Maybe Brock Purdy returns. Who the freak knows? It's funny how George Kittle said we started the game off slow. You guys know I don't watch any of the pressers, you know. But he said we started the game off with a punt, a fumble, 4th down turnover, a touchdown, and a punt. Our team is going to have to really rely on really good veteran offense to score a lot of points and not turn the ball over. And we didn't do that today. That's going to be the case. That's going to be the case moving forward. We have to help out our defense. That's just the way the season is going to be. That's what George Kittle, George Kittle just is saying this during the presser. I'm here, so I don't watch the pressers. But this is exactly what I just said. The bright side of today is that the offense was able to put up the points. It just wasn't enough. The offense has to be better. They have to start fast. They have to start efficient. They have to score. They just have to. It's just what it is. The defense, that's the only way you're going to help the defense. Only way you're going to help the defense. It's the only way. The Jordan Watkins play. Yes. Was Jordan Watkins targeted? No. Why was Bourne going off for a few games? Because there was no Jawan Jennings. Yeah, that's your Jawan Jennings guy, right? That's the guy that came in and replaced Jawan Jennings, So I'm not saying Bourne phased out. He just gets a catch here or there, but they play the same role. And so that's pretty much it. If Bourne can develop in the route tree, maybe he'll get more reps. He doesn't have the speed to do what like DeMarcus Robinson does, but I'd rather him get Marcus Robinson reps. Yeah, that's kind of where I am with it. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't Garindo run that same booth play as Debo? Yeah, for some reason he's a running back, right? So for Kyle, you would activate another running back opposed to a wide receiver. Look, I don't know. Yes, to answer your question, yeah, I believe he could. Does he have some issues out there? Yeah. Does he fumble the ball? Yeah. Does he line up wrong? Yeah. Have we seen him be dynamic in this offense? Yes. He could be the spark that the team needs. I just feel like because he's a running back, he's just third on the depth chart. And he's not going to line up as a Deebo Samuel. I don't know if maybe he doesn't know the wide receiving routes and things like that. But I mean, you could just give him the goddamn ball in space and just let him do his thing. I don't think, first of all, Deebo was different than Deebo was a different type of player. No one on this team is Deebo Samuel as far as the way they play, how physical they are. Like, even Jawan Jennings' physicality is different. Like, Debo was literally looking for contact, which, because he can bounce off of the contact and break the tackle, that's not Garindo. So, it's going to be interesting to see how they move forward with everything, but I don't think we see Garindo at all. Plus, he's been having to drop the fumbles, C's, and stuff. And if Nick Martin is not playing, they tried with Garindo, though. They had him on return, and he just wasn't good. He just wasn't good. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference. Like, so you say, can Debo run those plays? Yeah. I mean, can Garindo run those plays? Yeah, just as far as a playmaker, but he won't run them as effective as Debo. Now, we'll get to see him at some point, but I just feel like the offense got to come on and put up 30 points. Every one of my score predictions from this point forward is going to be 30 plus. Offense got to score 30. If they can score 30, cool beans. If they can't score 30, it's going to be rough. Because you're asking a young, non-proven defense week in and week out to go out there and be consistent. I think they will be against certain teams, but the Rams, they're a really good team. I'm not going to... Look, I tip my hat to the Rams. They're a really good team. We ain't got to like them. I respect them. They're a really good team. And the Niners are going to have to find ways on how to... They're going to have to figure out other ways on how to beat really good teams when you can't match the output from a really good team. How do you stop the Rams offense with the type of defense that we have? I don't know. Got to go back to the drawing board play and get the whiteboard out, not the whiteboard, but the dry erase board, and start putting some stuff together. And the Niners, and that's why I said, like, I'm mad at Saleh because of his game plan and his inability to adjust. You can throw out the contacts and say, oh, well, he don't have the players. And I could say, well, I don't give a fuck. Like, he got to get these players that he has to work. Isn't that what a good coach is? It's going to take time. I understand that, but you gotta help put these young guys in the positions. You know what I'm saying? Got to. In my opinion, at least that's what you got to do. Football is a game of 21. Oh, I like this. We take it back to cards. We just had that whole cards analogy. Score for 21 offense is adequate. Hold a team under 20 defense is adequate. It is. Today's defense couldn't stop the high-powered offense of the Rams. Like, Matthew Stafford was running that offense like a machine. You could tell their mission was to beat the 49ers, literally. They weren't just out there playing football. They were on a mission to send a message. And the Niners defense just couldn't freaking counter it. No matter, they did nothing to do so. They forced 1 3 and out, 1 punt, That was it. So yeah, you're right. Now you play against a team like Arizona, you still might get these mistakes out there. You still might have the missed tackles, miscommunication, whatever. But is Arizona's offense going to be as potent as the Rams? And if it's not, then your defense might have an ability to make a play. Ronaldo Green got to catch that goddamn interception, though. You can't drop the same interception twice, bruh. That right there, nobody talking about it because it was a incomplete pass. But man, opportunities. Tanisha says they was not scared at all. They weren't, and they didn't have to be because they knew we were lacking, right? So when you're lacking, that's your time where you sharpen your knives, and you get ready to go out there and feast. Oh, they don't got this. Oh yeah, we do it too. Everybody's guilty of that. Oh, they don't got this. This person out here. Oh, yeah, chink. We about to eat. That's what they did. They ate full on today. They ate super full on today. I'm not mad at them. But the Niners got to figure out what they're gonna do. And look, they you know what I think Kyle Shanahan needs to do. And I know Mike and I on the BAM show, we got into this kind of like, not an argument, but kind of like disagreement. Mike said that he likes that Kyle is leaving Brock as questionable, not putting him on the IR, this, that, and the third, all that, whatever. And I kind of like understand that as far as a competitive edge, but I think they need to figure out like who rocking with this team for the remainder of the season, so that person could be fully locked and loaded and be ready to go. Like that's kind of like where I am with it. If Brock is not going to be healthy enough to give this team 100% every single game, then I'd rather not use Brock. I'd rather put him on the ice, let him get healthy, rock with Adrian as their backup, and let Mac McCorkle-Jones go out there and just have a season. I know we're paying Brock, but hey, it's football. Cat's going to get injured. Now, that's not me saying I don't want Brock out there, but if Brock isn't going to be 100% returning from the toe, then all we're going to do is make it worse. And that's why Kyle said, I'm going to make sure he's right before I put him back out there. I don't want the same situation that happened in Jacksonville to happen if I put him out there. So I think there's a little anxiety, a little, you talk about being scared. I think Kyle's a little nervous about putting Brock out there because he just doesn't know how that toe is going to react. And it can get worse. And then next thing you know, he's going to require surgery and then he'll be out longer. So that's a tough situation, right? Like, I mean, I think we all want Brock to play, but whatever. GSU for life says, Breezie, you remember when you said Kyle is saving plays? Well, now yeah. But we're 6-4, right? You lost one in the division, so you tie with the Rams. You got to win your other division game. So you got a chance to not only rebound, but to also to create separation in the division. And don't forget the Rams play the Seahawks. So if the Rams lose to the Seahawks next week, it gets weird. The Niners, if they win next week, they'll be 4-1. They're 3-1 right now. I think the Rams are 1-1 in the division, and I don't know what the Seahawks and the Cardinals are off the top of my head, but that's where it gets a little tricky. So y'all don't think Kyle gonna show a lot of this crazy play stuff. I think these players just got to go out there and execute the plays that Kyle is calling, and it's time to activate. I think it's time to activate. This will be George Kittle's, third or fourth game back now? I think it's time to fully let George Kittle go ape shit on the offense. I think it's just time, right? I mean, that's what he does. I know we want him to block. Yeah. Let him be what the defenses need to prepare for. So it could just open up other guys. Like, you know what I mean? And George Kittle, to me, has that same mindset as Deebo Samuel. They be looking for contact, literally. So I'm not saying I want him running Deebo Samuel packages, but get the ball to George a little bit more if you can. Remember, George was a yak guy, and we're not really getting him the ball in space anymore. So I would love to see some of that. Love to see more of that. You know what I mean? I think if Mac had to be the guy to move forward, I think Mac would be fine to run the season, the remainder of the season. As far as it being some type of quarterback controversy, we can nip that shit in the bud. You can. I think you can. Now, if Mac wins a Super Bowl, we gonna have a conversation. But until that, nah. I just feel like Brock, I don't know what's going on with this toe. It just doesn't seem like it's going to be a good situation if he returns. I could be totally wrong. I hope I'm totally wrong. Coming off this loss, though, I guess the question would have been, will we have won this if Brock played? People probably would have been like, yeah, because he would have been able to move around on his feet. Yeah, with that toe. So we got to, it is what it is. We got our ass beat. Period. End of discussion. And we got whipped on top of that. It's going to get better, though. So, like that, we just went over the 4 games, right? Arizona, the Panthers, right? Cleveland, and then the Titans. So, yeah, we got 4 games to really get right again, right? 4 games to kind of like get back into, winning in a groove. Let Kyle Shanahan cook. And hopefully the defense will continue to make strides just to be a little bit better, man. I will say this. The Rams had a pretty potent offense, right? You got Kyron Williams as a running back. They even used more Blake Corum today, which was crazy. And then you had Devontae Adams. He did leave the game with some type of back injury, if I'm not mistaken. And then you had Puka Nacua, who's returning from an injury. Doesn't really look like himself, but still moved the chains. They just featured 3 tight ends that y'all ain't never heard of. That was the craziest shit that I ever seen in my life. You know what I'm saying? Craziest joint I've ever seen in my life. So, will it get more interesting moving forward? Yeah, I think the 49ers need to shake this game off, get ready for the Cardinals, man. Listen, I will be here tomorrow, 1 p.m. Thank y'all for rocking out with your boy Breezie. I wanted to bring y'all a live overreaction show for the season. I'll probably continue to do these like this as long as I got energy. At the end of the game, I had some energy today, so we're all good. Love y'all. Keep it faithful to the Bay. We'll be back tomorrow. Peace.
What's up, faithful? Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and make sure you check out some of the other cool videos.